Hi, I'm Ken McCoy. We hope you enjoy the program that we provide. We will be doing breaking news stories, news that will affect you in your community, staying safe. This is Ken McCoy with Bounce TV Regional, serving Las Vegas, Bakersfield, and Fresno.
He's holy, and he's righteous. Yes, he is. The Lord. Oh, he's an awesome God. Oh, come on, come on. He's a holy God. Yes, he is. He's a loving God. Hey. He's a righteous God. Yes, he is. He's an awesome God. If you hold on, come on, move side to side for me. Come on. Keep your head up. Believing the change don't come to the day is tonight. Every day. Every day. Oh, happy 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 day. Happy, happy day. Oh, happy day. Jesus washed my sins. Oh, happy day. Wash my sins away. Oh, happy day. Happy, happy, happy day. Oh, happy day. They tell me that the streets. Oh, happy day. I paid with gold. Oh, happy day. They tell me.
Step it up and stomp it out. Saturday, October 12th, AMPTV presents the 17th annual Fresno State Step Show, starring various Black Greeks, strolling out of NorCal and SoCal with different stunts and styles of stepping. Saturday, October 12th, watch the college Greek life and how they step it up and stomp it out to win first place. Look out for the Frats and Soros, Saturday, October 12th, only here at AMPTV.
AMPTV Now News covers what's happening on a global and national level with African Americans, from various blogs to the latest what's happening in the news. One of the news sources that we find for this week that really has some top-hitting stories in thegrio.com is the notorious N-word. We hear it so often, but can it be used at work? Could this be an illegal practice that eventually is outlawed? One person sued over this. Meanwhile, President Obama on Syria is looking for his loyal Democrats to back him, but they are not feeling the same way as President Obama. Finally, we know that Miley Cyrus has a mean streak on her, but does she have a black streak? Starting the trend in overanalyzing black dance, Miley Cyrus twerking on stage has become a phenomenon. And that's what's happening in thegrio.com. The first story questions, is it illegal for black to use the N-word? According to one employee of the employer Strive East Harlem, her boss, Rob Carmona, a black man, used a racial slur while reprimanding her. Herself, being of Puerto Rican descent, felt that this is inappropriate, not something that Brandy Johnson would want to be called. In fact, she ended up suing over it and won over $50,000. Now, the boss, of course, argues that because of his New York City project background and being raised in New York City project, it was full of tough love and tough language. Well, tough luck, Mr. Carmona, because now you have a bill to pay. Meanwhile, bloggers are setting their comments as well. Kurt says, how about barring all hate speech? No one is allowed to say the N-word, the C-word, anything like that. And he goes on to say, how about not even allowing different products to do the same? David Moore said, it's a darn shame the government has to legislate the word for our vocabulary. This is not a term of endearment, so stop saying it. Meanwhile, Nancy agrees. What dingbat uses racial slurs at work? I don't care what type of work you do. Never get so comfortable that you can think that you can talk to anyone any type of way. For Pete's sake, it's work. Other related posts in regards to the story, why the N-word should stay in Huck Finn. New York case puts the N-word use among blacks on trial. Palin tweets deplorable free speech defense of Dr. Laura. TJ Holmes, yes, I use the N-word, and Spike Lee, Quentin Tarantino, Jackie Brown, N-word battle revisited 15 years later. And this will be an ongoing story that may have an end when it comes to the pocketbook. So will House liberals stand with President Obama on Syria? Well, only a handful of members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and who are traditionally strong supporters of President Obama's initiatives, are feeling like they want to back away from the Syria intervention. Representative John Yarmouth from Kentucky, Democrat, is a longtime supporter of Obama and backs him, and in fact was a strong supporter with the Obamacare. There's no evidence that's what's happening is a threat to our national security, Representative Charles Rangel said from New York. If the facts warrant it, if the facts show that it was a gas attack authorized by the Assad regime, and if it's true that there were 1,500 people killed, I just don't think the world can stand by and say that's okay. That's not our business. We don't have to worry about it, said Representative Keith Ellison, Democratic of Minnesota. These opinions seem to be mixed. White House officials are now aggressively courting congressional Democrats to see if they can sway them over to the other side. 5 reasons Syria is not President Obama's Iraq. Number 1, Obama knows the lessons of Iraq as well as anyone. 0 ground troops. And Obama and his team have not been thinking about invading Syria since before they took office. There's policy problem in Syria, and Obama is not George W. Bush. Luckily, there's more on details on that in the Grio. If you check out the story, go to AMPTVNOW.com to get more information. Meanwhile, Miley Cyrus is still in the news. Now she's creating more of the news by the overanalyzing of the different or parodies on what she's doing. Talk about twerking is obviously enough, and people want action. They want to twerk like Miley Cyrus. So the New York Post actually ran a twerking tutorial. Really? Giving you 4 easy steps. Meanwhile, ABC News is in on this as well. They published a baffling bad online report, Twerking, a scientific explanation, and talk about the ease of being able to twerk. The expert touted twerking as a way to gain the stamina to do activities important to most people heavily involved in twerking. We're all confused. Read more on that story from the Grio. Other related posts in regard to twerking and Miley Cyrus include Miley Cyrus shows hypocrisy in hood music slam. Miley Cyrus and the obsession with ratchet culture. Miley Cyrus, imitation of black life adds insult to injury, and the list goes on. Looking at TheRoot.com and its top stories, starts off with Cheryl Underwood. She's on fire. Well, maybe from the internet posts that are coming, not literally on fire. But her words were fiery, and now she's created her own fire and pan, and she's probably burning in it now. While she's on fire, the black pastor's right behind her. So starting with Cheryl Underwood. and her comments that seemed to be confusing for everyone. It was an encore presentation that was on CBS August 30th. And her comments about hair, nappy hair in particular, during the discussion with Heidi Klum, who saves her children's hair, her comments became an endearing comment that has lasted on the internet for the past several days. And so when she heard that Heidi does save her children's hair, which are huge afros as she describes them, she said, "Why would you save afro hair?" And she went on to imply that nobody wants that type of hair, and saying that you never hear of a woman in a hair shop asking for that curly, nappy, beady hair. Because as the crowd jeered, and as the other co-hosts seemed appalled and shocked in silence, somehow people thought this was funny. So what has Cheryl Underwood said to all this? Well, she says everybody's just tripping. Her words, tripping. She didn't really defend her comment, but she did, I guess, by saying everyone's tripping. But she did find it odd. And because she said she was talking about child's hair and completely skirting around the issue, she basically said everybody's tripping. In fact, Special K tweets, Cheryl Underwood is an all-around sad state of affairs. Nurse Jackie O says, Cheryl Underwood, would you love your natural self if you had been blessed with silky straight good hair? You need to wake up. Meanwhile, I think a black pastor is waking up as a email has now flourished into national news and precipitated, and of course, into mainstream media and also social media. And as this black pastor was just trying to get more visitors, just trying to get more membership, is it understandable that she'd want the best of the best at the doors to open up and greet the people that are coming in, and those best of the best happen to be white? Pastor Penny Cook is cooking in her own frying pan as she tries to deliver herself from those comments. John Quest says another way black church is holding black people back. K-Dog 2 follows up by saying plantation mentality, that's all. Patsy 2 says, what the bleep is going on in black people's head? A few days ago, it was Cheryl Underwood with her madness. Now it's the church woman with equal dementia, as Patsy goes on. Right after the break, we're going to bring you more news happening. Stay tuned to AMPTV Now News.
Step it up and stomp it out. Saturday, October 12th, AMPTV presents the 17th annual Fresno State Step Show, starring various black Greeks, strolling out of NorCal and SoCal with different stunts and styles of stepping. Saturday, October 12th, watch the college Greek life and how they step it up and stomp it out to win first place. Look out for the Frats and Soros, Saturday, October 12th, only here at AMPTV.
He's holy, and he's righteous. Yes, he is. The Lord. Oh, he's an awesome God. Woo! Come on, come on. He's a holy God. Yes, he is. He's a loving God. Hey. He's a righteous God. Yes, he is. He's an awesome God. If you hold on. Keep your head up. Come on, move side to side for me. Come on. Keep your head up. Every day. Every day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh,
AMPTV Now News is back from the break with more news. It was 30 years ago when astronaut Guy Bluford was the first African-American man to fly off into space. His story comes up next.
The class of 78, the 35 new guys, the TFNG, included for the first time women and people of color. Guy was the first of that group to fly. So when he flew in, 30 years ago, this year, it was a big deal. What was so good about Sally, and it was what was so good about Guy, was the fact that they were good. I mean, they didn't need to explain why they were there. And Guy was the first person of color to fly, and that was absolutely incredible. But it would have been empty had he been the first and only.
In '77, I applied for the astronaut program among 10,000 other people. And in '78, I got selected. There were 3 African Americans in that class, myself, Ron McNair, and Fred Gregory. I think any of the 3 of us could have done that role. Fred was a test pilot, Ron was an engineer, and I sort of mixed both, had the blend of both. But it wasn't for me a desire to be the first African American in space. My desire was to make a contribution. STS-8, there were 4 rookies on the team and Dick Truly. We trained together as a team for about 15 months before we flew. It probably took me a little while to recognize the historical significance of it. And then once I sort of accepted that, then I also recognized the importance of doing the job as best as I can. And it as an opportunity to open up doors for others. It was the first night launch, so we had to shift our circadian rhythm and get used to sleeping in the day and living at night. Getting up at 10 o'clock at night, going to bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It took us a week to do that. We did that primarily in quarantine. The day that we were going to fly, they got us up at 10 o'clock at night. And we had breakfast. We suited up. About midnight, we went downstairs and climbed into the van to go out to the bird. It was raining that night. And I knew that it was going to be an exciting night because people came from all over to watch this launch because I was flying. I imagined them all standing out there at 1 o'clock in the morning with their umbrellas, all asking the same question, and that is, why am I standing here? The launch was slipped, I guess, about a half hour because we were supposed to launch off at about 2. But the weather was starting to clear. Maybe a little after 2 in the morning, they felt they gave us the go for liftoff, and we counted down, and clock marched all the way down to 0, and the solid rocket boosters lit off. We had darkened our cockpit so that we could maintain our night vision just in case we would have to do an emergency landing. Well, the first real surprise was when the solid rocket boosters lit off and lit up the cockpit. Whatever night vision we were supposed to have, we lost it. The thing that surprised me was it was just like the simulators, except the vehicle actually moved. The crew taped the intercom conversation. There's somebody giggling and laughing all the way up, and we listened to it for quite a while to try and figure out who that was, only to come to the conclusion that that was me. I laughed and giggled all the way up. It was such a fun ride.
We salute Guy Bluford 30 years later. An African-American teen says his stop and frisk has made him fear police. He tells his story extensively. This all happened in New York City as an example of the Stop and Frisk campaign.
I think people shouldn't have to live in fear. The point of police is not to instill fear, but I think the point of police is to protect people, to have them not feel like fear. My name is Kasim Walters. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn. East Flatbush is very diverse. many different people. You definitely have your crime, you know, that's a part of it. But everybody's, you know, everybody's together. Everybody's a unit. The first time I was stopped and frisked, I was about 13 years old. I was, of course, leaving my house on my way to school to pick up a friend. My friend lives about maybe a block and a half away from me. And I was walking up the block. I made the left on New York Avenue. I was just waiting outside. And then the cops just pulled up and they were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm waiting for my friend." And they was like, "He lives here." And I was like, "Yeah." They went through my book bag, threw my stuff on the ground and all that. They were just asking me questions, being rough with me, telling me where I'm gonna end up. "You wanna end up in jail?" And then they both became very aggressive, searching in my pockets, turning me around and pushing me, like forcing my legs open, like yanking me. So at that moment, I don't know, I mean, frightened, definitely frightened. Yeah, frightened and confused. The thing that changed for me first is the way I looked at police. I couldn't look at them the same. I remember, I mean, it was bad to a point where I got robbed. I didn't call the police. They scare you now, so they instill this fear in you, and then it forces you to have this mindset that you are a criminal. So you wake up now and you're like, am I gonna get stopped? Maybe I should wear something so I don't get stopped. Maybe I shouldn't wear a hoodie. If I see cops, it's like, should I cross the street? I don't want them to think I'm suspicious. Should I stay on the street and get harassed by them? And that's something that you shouldn't have to be paranoid about. I shouldn't have to be afraid of my commute. After that point of time, I've probably been stopped and frisked 7 times. You know, I had a friend that was leaving the supermarket and he got stopped and frisked. I know friends that giving high fives to each other at bus stops and the cops stopped them thinking that they exchanged drugs. I mean, I had a friend coming home from football practice and he had his cleats on and stuff like that, and he was walking with a limp. So I guess because he was walking with a limp and he's a big guy, they assumed he got into some type of altercation and they stopped him. I mean, so it's just, the list goes on and on. This is what really made me realize this is not a going to school problem. This is a neighborhood problem. This is you're a young African-American male problem. This is a you're from East Flatbush problem.
And that's all for today's AMPTV Now Breaking News, bringing you what's happening nationally and globally with African Americans.
Step it up and stomp it out. Saturday, October 12th, AMPTV presents the 17th annual Fresno State Step Show, starring various Black Greeks, strolling out of NorCal and SoCal with different stunts and styles of stepping. Saturday, October 12th, watch the college Greek life and how they step it up and stomp it out to win first place. Look out for the Frats and Soros, Saturday, October 12th, only here at AMPTV.
happy day. It's a happy, happy time. Oh, happy day. Jesus washed my sins. Oh, happy day. He washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. Happy, happy, happy day. Oh, happy day. They tell me that the streets. Oh, happy day. I paid with gold. Oh, happy day. They tell me.
We hope that you enjoyed the programming on Bounce TV Regional, serving Las Vegas, Bakersfield, and Fresno.
AMPTV presents Bounce TV, now on Comcast Channel 190, KAIL TV 7.3, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Enjoy premier quality African American and urban content in game shows, comedy, music profiles, and top 40 videos, dance shows, and more. From the classic blaxploitation movies to the popular big screen mega movie stars, watch black cinema every day via regular broadcast TV, cable. Enjoy national and local news, classic HBCU sports games with highlights of the Battle of the Bands, and watch local content that reflects what's happening in the African American San Joaquin Valley community, featuring local celebrities and hosts who bring all current events happening now, the finest local news and entertainment. Watch Bounce TV in your area on TV, Comcast Channel 190, and KAIL TV 7.3.
Bounce TV.
But they put their lives on the line.
Anne Marie Pro TV.